Hello everybody, welcome to my studio. Kathy Arbor here, and today we're going to be doing some more techniques with the acrylic paint. So I hope everybody's doing well. It's a fall day for sure here. Cold and a little bit on the rainy side. Hey Dot, good to see you. So how's the weather there? Pretty rainy here, getting a lot cooler. The leaves are falling fast here. Cold too. Hey Gail. Yeah, it is fall. They're calling for mixed precipitation on the weekend, which means a little bit of snow. Yuck. Hey Pauline, good to see you. So I thought we would continue on with this. I'm just going to show you one of the techniques. I didn't have the Vaseline before. I picked up some. And we'll try that and I'll show you what it does. It's chilly here in Indiana. Yeah, it's fall. Now we just have to wait for the winter to hit. I hope it's not a bad one this year. I didn't mind snow before, but don't care for it anymore. Must be my age. I hate shoveling. I don't have to go out to work anymore. That's good. So my work is here with you guys. Cool. I've used Vaseline. I haven't used Vaseline. What? That now for you or for your art, Colleen? So if you were here last week, Colleen, were you not, when we were doing these with the glue, making the cracks with the glue? And this is just actually paint on top of each other. Oh, you like winter? Oh, I hate winter. I think my favorite is spring, though, I must admit. From May till about July. I was here for part of it. Did you see how we did this one? This is just two colors of paint put on each other and dried with a heat gun. So you get cracking. And this one here is I painted the surface first with a color. Then I put glue, plain white school glue on, and let it dry completely. And then if you put your crackle paste or whatever type of crackling medium you have, it actually cracks better on the glue than it does if you were to put it on just plain paper or whatever. I don't know why, but it does, and that's the result. So you get big cracks too. You get small cracks, depends on the how thick it is also, but it's not one way either. So you're getting cracks all over the place. Was the glue dry when you put the crack? Yes, the glue has to be completely dry. So if it's still looking a little cloudy, it's probably not dry. And then you put your crackle paste on top of the dry glue. It does. It improves the cracking. But you can also use glue and let it dry just slightly so that the top of the glue is a little dry, so it's not, you know how you get a film on the glue when it starts to dry. Then take your color of paint and use the side of your brush. Load your brush up with paint and use your side of your brush and coat the glue with the paint and then let it dry, and you'll get some really awesome glue effects. Let me find some here. I think I did a couple. Yeah, here it is. That's with the paint and the glue on top. So you don't need crackle paste. Just get glue and paint over top of it when it's slightly dry, and then let it dry. You get the same, well, kind of the same. It's a little more directional, but if you wanted to paint the paint color on top of the glue in different directions, you would get it all over the place. But you don't need expensive crackle paste. You can do it with glue. Yeah, it was neat. Did you see these where I did the dendritic? I found a way of doing it without a piece of glass. Did you see that? Hey, everybody coming in, Joan, Nana. And there's some on deli wrap, so you could cut this out. And you could do it on, hey, Eileen. I really like this. See, there's different layers of it. And that was just using the heavy, where is it? There it is. This stuff, the clear plastic, using 2 sheets of it. So it's fairly thick, but this works awesome with the dendritic. Hey, cat. So no need for the great big pieces of glass. So I thought I would continue. I was going to do that Vaseline one, and then we'll do a painting in mixed media, an abstract. I just wanted to show you this. This was my rendition of Kathy and Colleen's stream where they did the prompts for a Halloween page. I think I got them all. I don't have them here with me, but there's my mummy. There's my Frankenstein with a Dracula cloak. There's my, oh, my leaf's coming off. Lace. The coffin is this here that he's writing on. There's the hourglass, the spider web. I did a transfer of a stained glass window. There's my letter with a stamp on it. There's the tombstones. What else? Oh, the fog or mist or whatever you want to call it. And there's the confetti. And I just crushed up one of my leaves that I had used for jelly printing and used it as the confetti. So the wind blew in the leaves. Get a little atmosphere. Tree? Yeah, there's trees back here. Yeah, the coffin's his desk. I guess I should have, I don't know. Kind of hard to, I guess I could have put the rails here. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. Get your imagination going. It was fun. So we'll have to do another one. Thanks, Nana. It was fun. It sure did. It made you panic. I just wrote them down and then I figured it out. I think it's harder if you're doing it one by one because then you can't really plan it. Where I had them all in front of me and then I planned my scene. I'm a planner. That's the way I do things. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you can just shove all your stuff under there. Yeah, so you should try and I think you had a specific number. Probably be easier and less because why be nervous? You got to enjoy it, eh? So just do the draw of all of them and then just plan it out after that. I think it's more fun. Everyone's will be different because everybody can put them in different orders in a different scene. Hey, Sharon. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm glad you caught me live too. So, just thought I'd show you that. I thought it was fun. Now, I want to see what we can do with this technique. So, I'm going to do a couple things. Let's see, a credit card or here, this palette knife. So the way you put the Vaseline on will determine the pattern of what comes off. Man, that's funny. Yeah. Okay, so you put a Vaseline on. I'm gonna separate it and do two of these. So we'll do one side with that, and then I'm gonna take the brush, a bristle brush, just a cheapy old bristle brush, and I'm gonna now I don't know how I'm gonna get that off, but and then what you do is you take your paint, this is just the Liquitex Basics. I didn't put any water on my brush, and I'm going to load up the brush fairly well and just skim it across. Don't press too hard. And cover your area. We'll cover this one. And then we'll dry it. So is everybody else into the Halloween mode? Or are you more into fall colors, leaves, that type of thing? Now you can see too, it makes the paint crack also. I'm too busy making Christmas. Oh yes, Christmas cards. Yeah, you got to be ahead. I always remember when I had the store, you had to be a season ahead. Autumn for you, Dorothy. Moving mode. Closed on home yesterday. Oh wow, Nana. Oh yeah. I feel for you. Such such a tiring thing to move. So much to do. Tiring mentally and physically. All right. I'm just going to get a baby wipe. So now let's try this is the side we use the palette knife. So you can take off as much as you want, but see how it kind of looks like peeled paint. Now this is the brush side. Doesn't that look cool? It looks so much like peeled paint. So just a little Vaseline. Who knew that Vaseline would be in your art supplies? Oh, don't forget the chapstick. Remember last week? If you're out of Vaseline. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I didn't have Vaseline last week, so I just took a little smidge off of the chapstick, and that's what the chapstick did. You're welcome, Sharon. Probably, Eileen, if you want your art smelling like camphor. But yeah, I love this. It looks so grungy. Now, you could go over top of this again with more paint and put a bit of Vaseline here and there. Let's do it. Let's put yeah. Oops, sorry. I smacked you. You see a cat and a dog? Oh yeah, there's the dog. His little nose. And there's the cat. Yeah, you're right. Awesome. Okay. So let's just put a light coat this time. And let's put, what color? Green? Let's try the craft paint, see if it works just as well. I haven't tried craft paint. Yeah, it's almost a Snoopy dog. Jeez, I see it, Eileen. Okay, load my brush up. You want to put a fair amount on because you don't want to brush away your Vaseline. So you're kind of skimming over the top of it. Okay, let's dry that. You can almost see where the Vaseline is. See where it's a little bit shiny right in here. You want it fairly dry though, because if it's semi-damp, it's going to remove that whether there's Vaseline under it or not. Let's try taking it off with a paper towel instead of something wet. See what it does. Cool. It literally is peeled paint. See? Isn't that cool? So you know how some of the old houses had multiple layers of paint. So this is what you could do. So maybe if you wanted to use this on a building, you would put more Vaseline on the edges of doors and that type of thing. Isn't that cool? I like it. Just gives it that grungy look. What you could do too is if you wanted to put, say, one of your old pages on and do the same technique, And then when you put your paint over top, you're going to see the prints of the, if it's newspaper or writing or whatever, coming through instead. Looks like your cat. I like it. I think it looks so cool. This is more like somebody tried to sandpaper it. So there's a play with it, because you get different effects with the different brushes you use, how you're taking it off, how much paint you're putting on probably. You like the chapstick one. You could probably do the same thing, but just don't put as much. Maybe with a finger, just put a little bit on. So it's so minimal. Okay, so I thought I'd show you that. There you go. Now, thought we could do a mixed media page. There's my book. Oh, that's the full one. There, I'll use this one. All right, so what we learned was that the acrylic paint can go on plain paper without gesso. It shows up a little darker, and you can't wipe it away as much. So it's good for using your stencils on, or just brush marks if you want to do that. You could also start with book pages, collage, ephemera, that type of thing. We can do, let's see, some newspaper here. And we can throw some of that on. The nice thing about doing collages before is that you can cover them up. If you're using from a magazine, that type of thing, it's always nice to not use the whole word or image so they can't tell what it really was saying. So it's just bits and pieces. Use different size font. It's nice too. We're going to use some matte medium. Let's get another. I'll just use this old palette paper here. If you got any questions, put it in caps, and then I'll be able to see it a little easier. You can put pretty well anything on a mixed media painting. So leaves, fabric, household items, metal, whatever you can find has been put on mixed media. Scrapbook paper is another awesome one to do because it gives a little bit of color. It doesn't mean you have to keep that color. I find I usually will cover over a lot of it. Now I think I will get a stencil. Let's see what stencil we can find here. These are just a few. Let's do this one. I haven't used this one yet. Some letters. I like using letters or writing. There's a nice fern one. I'm just taking out a bunch. I'm doing kind of a natural woodsy type of thing, I think. Okay, here's this one. Let's bring this one out. It's a tree one. Okay. I think I want some numbers. It could, and sometimes I don't worry about whether they're backwards or do they make sense. Sometimes it's nice not to. Then people don't get hung up on that. Now I'm going to use some gesso. And just gesso some of these areas. And I'm not going to worry about them being completely done properly because this is my first layer. And then I'll turn it over. No point in wasting. Let's see. And we'll just put it down here. There. I'll cover that. Let's wipe this off. I have some paper left over here, so why not wipe it off onto that? And we can reuse it. We're wasting nothing. Is always a good thing. Put it over here. So then we got a little bit on there. And let's dry it. That's great. So what do you like to start off with? Do you like to paint your background first, or do you like to put collage on, or do you do a mix of different things? Nothing you do makes sense. That's a good thing sometimes. It frees you, stops you from having that blank page syndrome where people don't know where to start, so they don't start at all. Collage on first manual, yeah. I find collage, when you do that, it helps you get something on the page. And it's also, you know, you're not necessarily going to keep that. More than likely it'll be covered anyway, but it gets you started. But sometimes it's best just throw something on, even if it is like a newspaper. At least it's something. You don't have to use your favorite paper if you don't want to on the first. I wouldn't necessarily, because you're going to always add something on top of that first layer. This is a fairly thick layer of gesso, so I don't want it to move. So I want to make sure it's good and dry right through. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put some sprays on this, some Lindy sprays, to start the color. And I'm going to go for more fall colors. So your sepias, your golds, your yellow, orange, little green, grays, that type of thing. Your bills, that's a good way of using them. Good for something, right, Eileen? All right. There's a nice one. Some green. Moon shadow. Yellow. These golds. Orange. I'll take that out just in case I do use it. I like some flat and some sparkle. Oh, thanks, Sharon. Welcome. Make sure you look through all the comments, because there's lots of stuff for download, traceables, and all kinds of printables for you to use. So you can go back and see all of the traceables for the different painting tutorials that I've done. Okay, so let's start off with some lighter colors first. So I'm going to stay kind of light in the center, but I want the edges darker. So this one is, it's a flat Fabio South Shore Sand, it's called. So I'm just going to put some of that in. Here's some Summer Lovin' Sun. That one's almost clogged. This is a Moon Shadow Mystic Melitite, I think it says. So it does, the Moon Shadow is more sepia color, and the green is the shimmer in the Moon Shadows. So I want lots. Okay, now I'm going to dry it. I don't want to move it. I like it the way it is. I want it to be concentrated, so I don't want to lift anything. You've been using some on the cat. Yeah, I love them on everything. I like them because they don't move. They move a little, but not a lot. And if you don't want them moving at all, just put a fixative spray on top, and then you're good to go. But see how the gesso through a stencil stays white. When you're using sprays and stencils, remember to try this. And in areas where there's less matte medium from gluing these down, it'll be a little darker. So you see up here, it's actually concentrated into the paper more because there was no matte medium in there. So the lighter areas are around the papers that I put down. Because of the matte medium being on there, it doesn't penetrate the paper. Hey, Riri. You can do whatever you want, Riri. Try it. That's the beauty of mixed media. It's fun to try. You see how lovely if you just leave the sprays alone, let them cool and stay splattery, they have such intense colors then. They're beautiful. It's almost like watercolor. That's why I don't like to sop them up with a paper towel or anything. I like them just the way they are. I'll show you the sparkle in a minute. And it's kind of neat because the sparkle in the moon shadows will be around the edges of the pools. And it takes a little longer to dry. That's okay, but because you don't get that effect when you sop it up. Let it run a little bit. All right, that is gorgeous. So you could leave this as is. I don't know if you see if I can get the green on there to show you. There. Can you see the green right in here? How it shimmers. There's some on the corner here too. So you get that green shimmery in patches. It's really cool. So whatever the moon shadow shimmer is, you're going to find in there. Let's see if I can get that. It's so much nicer in person. But see how it's splattery looking too? That's part of the reason why I like not putting your matte medium on or a gesso on paper right away. So you can have it any way you want, which better. I don't want to do it. Yep, it is mixed up. Sometimes I do a page upside down. Isn't that pretty? So I could actually, let's see, go over top of the letters. Let's see if I can take any of this off. Yes, you can. So where the gesso was, if you want to keep it white, you can actually take that and start taking some of that off. See, it does come off a bit. It's not completely, even that's pretty down there. That was from the, I turned my stencil over after putting this on, so you're kind of getting the reverse. Isn't that cool? So I can still see my pieces of paper, but now they're kind of incorporated into the page. They're not just standing out strong at you. So now I think I want to, let me think. I'm trying to think of the stuff we've done. Okay, we did these. Remember these? This was the, oh, what's it called? String gel. See how completely see-through it is? And this is the matte medium or gel medium, but it was a matte. So that's why it's kind of foggy looking. And then I put the high flow acrylics and mixed it into it. So these are great if you want a bit of color, but you're not sure what, where, or what to do with it. So I could put it on like that. Just take some more matte medium and glue it right down. I could cut out pieces and put it on. This one is really cool because it just melts right into the, see? So it shows right through. So if you want to make some of these up, they're great. Plus it gives you a little bit of dimension too. But I like them for many different reasons. Like I could cut these and make leaves or circles or whatever. You just have to make sure that they're separate and you don't stack them because they will fold onto each other and you won't be able to get them apart. So make sure you put some wax paper or deli wrap in between. Okay, I'm not going to put those on yet. I may, but I'm not going to do it yet. I think I might add a little bit more color. This time I'm going to use, let's try some of these. Now, what I'm going to do, this is a mask, and I'm just going to put a little bit of a darker spray on. So here's some, just and I'm going to spray it or dry it just a bit. I'm going to lift it. And I'm going to just put it down here and let all of that good spray soak into the page. I wonder how they would work if you embossed them in the big shot. What, these? These stencils? Flower mask. Yeah, these are flower masks. Does it say? It was the joggles, I think. Yeah, I think it was the joggles mask. Okay, so it didn't take it completely, but it's there. I can see it. So let's dry that. Oh, the skins. I think it would stick to whatever you were embossing it onto. They still have a little bit of stickiness to it. So if you're pressing them, I think they would probably stick. So there's the negative. This just adds a little bit more, and I'm trying to keep some of the dark edges dark. I want to I like a dark edge, but I like to bring it into the center somewhere so you're not just looking around the dark edge. So you have to have a focal, either a bright spot image, shape of some sort. I also like adding, let's see, it's nice to add shapes. So you could use this for doing lines. You could put this in here. It's not really the color I want, though. This is such a bright pink. So I don't think that will work for me in this one right now. But what you can do is get a piece of paper. I'm just going to use the stencil. I'm just going to use the outside of it. And I'm going to put it right here. And then you can take your inks or paint, whatever you want to use. Let's see what I got here. Be dark enough. Yeah. And just go around, take it out, block it out, the color, so it fades. But then you have a line, and I like that. And you can take another color. There's the sepia. See how dark it is. That's pretty dark, but I'll put it on just lightly, maybe down in here. Take some of it off my and then you have another. So you're still maintaining the bit of color there. I think I'll put right here a line. And this time I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to walk it out. Now you can get too busy also, but don't be worried about that because you can always paint it back. All right. So I've used sprays, I've used gesso, and I've used ink. So let's put in, let's see. Let's use this stencil. Because my page is about fall, so let's put a little bit of now you can see the white coming down and across. So I think I want to put a little bit of this in. And this time I'm going to use my gel medium. Let's see, maybe I have enough here. My gel medium, and I'm going to just put a little bit of sand color in it. I don't want it stark white. So let's put a little bit of, where is it there? There, more of a grayish color. And I'm just gonna put some on here. Okay. And just wipe this off. I may as well wipe it off on this paper and I can use it. May not transfer, but just play. Clean it, see what you get. All right, let's dry that. Covered up the face. Why, was there a face there? You also. I'll have to go back and look. Gone. Sorry. It's dry enough so that I won't ruin it if I put my hand in it. All right. Now, I think we need some leaves and some trees, maybe. I do have that stencil. Where did I put it? Somewhere. Where did I put it? Okay, so I want to put some paint on. Let's move some of these. See, I need a buff, I think. Buff and maybe a smidgen of yellow in it. And I use what I got. I mix my colors, doesn't matter if it's craft or heavy bodied, I use them all. This one seems to have a little bit of red in it, so I think I'm going to dull that down a little bit. There we go. And take my brush. Here's my other one. I'll take this bright. I'm just going to set this back a bit. This is fairly see-through. And I don't necessarily want it even. Then I'm going to spray some water, squirt some water on it, dry it a little bit. Take a clean paper towel and pat the water off. And you should get some spotting. Remember we did that? And there's our spotting. It's melting. Okay. Now, when I did the jelly printing of different leaves and stuff, I did keep some. So I thought it might be kind of cool to embed them. I have these two. They're dry, but they're pliable because they've got paint on them. So I think what I'm going to do is put 2 leaves, or maybe 1, I don't know. Think like that. And I'm just going to put them in the matte medium. So you want matte medium because it's thicker, and then you'll have to weigh them down. So I'm going to put some on the leaf. And then on the paper too. And if it cracks or whatever, that's even better. So I'm going to put a really good amount on. Have it up here, I think. And then I got to weigh it down. They are pliable, but they're still a little bit tough to get down. So now just get some either plastic or got some sticker waste. You need something that it's not going to stick to. This is just sticker waste. I'm going to put it on top. And just hold it down for a bit. You used beeswax? Cool. Yeah, you could do this as an encaustic piece too. You can do faux encaustic using matte medium. Really thick bits of matte medium covering it. It looks really cool. Yeah, show me tomorrow. You just hold it down for a little bit. The nice thing about mixed media and doing it with acrylics and sprays and that type of thing is that if you don't like an area, you can always white it out or paint it back and then add something else to it. Okay, that's kind of cool. I got a Dendritic imprint on the leaf. It's all about layering. The more layers, the more depth you get. Okay. So that looks cool. So I can go, once this is dried up a little more, then I could put another sheet of, or not sheet, but a film of matte medium back over top of that. So save your pieces of leaves that you've jelly printed with, because they will keep. All right, where did it, oh, there it is. Now, this would look cool. Or I could have it so it looks like a stem. I wonder. Let's put this aside. If I wanted to make a print of this, we would have to use a fairly dark color, even if it's just a partial print would be good. So I'm just put some craft paint on my piece of sticker waste, so I know it's not going to stick too much to the paper. And I'm going to lay this down because I want to be able to do something like that. So let's put this down in the paint. Get as much of the paint on it. And get a baby wipe ready. Lift it. Now, the trick is to place it where I want it, because once you put it down, that's it. I can take a brayer. If I've got, where is it? I had one out here. Brayer's probably better. You don't want to push it, because you'll if there's any paint on the other side, it's going to move into your painting, unless you want that. Okay, I'll lift it. Now I can take that paper I had again, no point wasting paint, and let's put it over here to clean it. Try not to move it. Get as much of the paint off. You get some neat designs. Okay, and this, get another piece of paper. Let's see. I always save my, what do you call them, print-offs, where you're getting paint off your jelly print. Use these. Another thing, where'd that paper go? While you're thinking of it, always have one of those films of that transparency, or whatever they're called, plastic. So you get the dendritic. I have some tissue from between those papers. It's kind of neat tissue. I don't know what it is, but then you just lay it down on it. I don't press it, and then lift it. And then you get your dendritic print. So you could use these for anything, really. You want to put these on a paper that you're using, or so if I were to put this back on, smush it again, using deli wrap, let it fall down. you just get some neat look. And you can cut that up and use it. It's just adding to your arsenal of stuff to cut up. And it's not wasting paint. Or you can put them in a composition book too. Like Paula does. But keep one of those transparencies for making stuff like that. Or you could use it as a palette too. And just let it dry and then peel the leftover paint off. And then you have a skin. Right? So there's the okay. Now, let's see. I think what I would like to do, we're not done yet, is, let's see, what have we done so far? We could take this and put it on here on the bottom. Or, oh, I just put something, glue or something on there. Let me think. Or paint. You could add more words. Stenciling. That would have to be darkened, I think. So I could put some of this on. Let's see what happens to darken that. Where did I just put that? There it is. So I have that there. No. Thinking. Don't know if I want that there yet. I think I want the same color as that. So that was, what did I use? I think it was this one. I think I want a line. You could use a line like, there's already a lot of pattern here, so you don't want to use the same type of pattern size over top of another pattern size. It gets too busy, so either have it more larger over top or smaller, but this is a fairly small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a line of color instead of a stencil. So I want to take this color here and I think I'm going to take that there so it's more, and just lightly darken this a bit. Make it a little more grungy. I'm just grunging this up using my finger. Okay. Now, what I want to do, I have these printouts, and I was thinking of putting a tree, probably that one, on it. Now you could paint it if you want. I'll show you how I do a transfer. And this is just an inkjet. So you can use an inkjet printer. I know there are people that say you can't, but I've always used inkjet. I don't have a laser. So the important thing about it, do not get the back of this with any of the matte medium. If you get any glue or matte medium on the back of it, it won't work. And make sure there's very little water in your brush. You have to make sure it's nice and dry. And then put a good thick layer of matte medium over top. And I go one way. Try and make it as even as you can. And see. And dry it. Thanks, guys. Once it's dry, take your brush again and put another layer. Make sure there's no water in your brush. Take your matte medium, but go the opposite direction this time. About the same thickness of a layer. And dry that. And then do it one more time. And this time in a diagonal. And dry it. Okay, so make sure it's good and dry, and then you can put it in a bath. So I'm just going to throw it in my bucket here and let it soak. Okay. This is so far, so they're good and down. They're still a little cool, so that means they're not quite dry yet. Now, what else can we do with this? I think I'm going to lighten this area a little bit because I want the tree to stand out a bit. So the success of a good composition, and that goes for realistic or abstract, is contrast. You have to have the right amount of contrast to keep your eye going around. So this here takes my eye across, and being that I have the dark continuing into the leaf, it takes your eye up this leaf. Now I need to do something to bring it back down. So I can either darken this corner here and bring it down, or you can also add brighter areas. Have a great day, Colleen. Thanks for coming. All right, so let's put a little bit of this acrylic in again. And the tree's going to be about in here. I can incorporate some of the lighter on the leaf too. Just because you have something collage doesn't mean you can't go over it. All right. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if hopefully this will work. So I just rub the back. Don't rub too hard though. And because we put the matte medium on the front, it covered the ink so that the ink wouldn't bleed out anywhere. You just have to be careful not to stretch it or rub it too much that you take all of the ink out of the matte medium. You can do that. So you just have to be a little careful. It might look a little cloudy at first, but once it's glued down with matte medium, it'll all blend in. So I'm just going to take some of this paper away because I don't need all of that. So there's no point in just spray it a little. Lightly. Doesn't take much to rub that stuff right off. See how it looks kind of cloudy? That's because the matte medium is wet again. Okay, then I'm going to let that dry just a bit to see how the color turns out. Give a little shot. It's light, but it's there. So let's try and put it down, see how it turns out. Fair amount of matte medium. And we'll put it right here. Then from the center, just work your way out. This was a sepia colored one, so it is going to be a little lighter. So if you want, I would print probably them out in just black and white. And where'd that? If you have a, oh, there it is. One of these are great. They're silicone wedges, and they're great to use because they won't rip your papers, and it just gets the excess out. Let's see how that's, if that doesn't turn out, I'll just paint over it. Matte gel medium. Okay, so it's not that bright, but I'm going to take my sepia markers or pens. I'll get one. I'm just going to go around the outside edge of the tree. And just make some interior squiggle lines so that it looks kind of bush-like or tree-like. I might go in with a darker one, but the nice thing about doing a mixed media is you can add abstract with photos. You can add it more realism in it. There's no rule. That's what I like, is there's no rule. then to make that go into the background a little bit better, I used some of that buff. So all I have to do is bring that buff into some of this and walk it out. Just so it's not, you don't see that definite line from where the matte medium was. Just add a little bit of whatever color you have around your area. You just add that. Add some of this black into the tree part. Could add some limbs. Here. So look at what colors do you have in your background around the area you're using, and just use those colors to incorporate it into whatever you're doing. Now, what I think I will do, where did I put that? Stencil that I had, the tree. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. So much stuff. We could use these as roots. So I could get a sponge, some more of that black paint that I've used on it here, and I'll just go like that. And then take that white and a fine, probably a finer, some water on my brush. A script liner would be best. And you can, too much water. Continue the lines up the tree. So it looks like roots. Here. Okay, so what else can we do here? Now we have these two, what do you call it? Aqua colors. I'm wondering if I should bring some of that aqua down here somewhere. So just color that a little bit. Need more green though. Maybe I need aqua paint. Some dry brushing. I think it was this one. Now I could, let's try that. I could either dry brush it or use a stencil. Hi, Gar. Hi, Jane. Now, dry brushing, you just dip the end of your bristle brush and wipe it off as much as you can. And then you just dry brush over top. It may not be enough though. I don't think I have enough dimension here to do it. Let's see. Not bad. I think I need more. Black. Maybe even in here. Just grunging up these leaves a little bit. And all right. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you. Busy day. Yeah, I've been through a lot of those. You feel like you've been running all day and can't figure out what you've been doing. All right. So there's, so it looks grungy. Now, I think I like that, but I think I need to have more of this color to balance it. So I'm going to take my micron. That's too small. Even a Sharpie would do, although I've used, no, I better not use the Sharpie, better use, let's see. Let's see. Okay. This one. Oh, that's too small too. 7. I'll use a 7. If it works, yep. Now I can, just a few areas. Just needs, it's kind of sitting back too much. It's just scribble. Here. All right. And then you could either leave it as this, or I could put, say, fall here, or some kind of saying of some sort, letters or whatever you want. So composition wise, it's not too bad. I had to brighten these areas for contrast because it was too monotone tone wise. This brings your eye up the tree, takes your eye into the leaves. The white lettering can also bring your eye down. So yeah, it looks pretty good. See you, Gail. But yeah, I like it. It's a bit harder to learn. And yeah, you're not going to like all of your pages that you do, but you learn with each one. So I love the colors. Next time, I think I probably would use a gesso that's tinted, because I think this is too bright. And because it's a gesso, I can't push it back because it's got a special resist to it. So I think I would probably put maybe more into a sepia color. A light sepia color would have been better. You're a grungy girl? Yeah, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I do like it, but there are things I could improve on it. And I'm terrible that way. I'm always looking at how can I improve this. I'm never satisfied with my stuff. That's probably why I have very little of my work in my house. Because I can see all the things I could improve. Yes, we do. We always do that to our own. I've got art hanging on all kinds of walls all over the place, but not in my own house. So I hope you liked it. And next week, I think we'll probably continue on the technique because there are tons. And we'll probably be venturing into mixing watercolor and an acrylic. Why would you do that? The advantages of watercolor used for certain things versus acrylic. So I'll let you guys go, and there will be a second tier, that's the budding artist tier on the membership. There will be a video coming up shortly. And the last Friday of the month is for the third tier blooming artists. And when is that coming up? Is that? Better check. That's the 30th, the day before Halloween. So keep that in mind, and I'll let you know ahead of time of what we'll need to have as far as supplies. And thank you so much for all you that are supporting my channel. I couldn't do this without you. And thanks for helping me do this. I've always wanted to share my knowledge with you and inspire you to create, even if it's just a hobby. It fills your soul, I believe. Everybody has this craving of creation, and it's a great stress reliever in these days. So take care, everybody, and stay creative and get outside before the cold weather starts. Before you know it, we'll be shoveling. Art therapy, yes. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. We'll see you on the internet somewhere.